All right, guys, here's a video of the one that made us famous. This is the Spokes grilled cheese. So, this is a real simple sandwich. We're going to throw down 2 pieces of sourdough and then a light spreading of our liquid margarine like we've done before. Just a nice cross pattern back and forth. Literally as little as butter as you can come out in each and one of those strings. We want to get the salt and the butter spread all the way to the edge. That liquid margarine is actually very salty and provides a lot of flavor, but we just don't want to inundate the bread or soak the bread with butter or it'll get way too greasy. So once again, we only put butter on one side, so we're toasting the downside of the bun, of the bread, without any butter on it. So we're going to give a little crisp and a toast to the downside, the inside of the bread, but we're not going to put butter on both sides. Then we'd have 4 pieces of bread with butter, and that's just way too much butter for this sandwich. And of course, I'm using the term butter and liquid margarine interchangeably. So we're just going to sit here for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes with that sandwich down. Of course, this sandwich is so simple. It's really all about getting the texture right on the bread, the color right on the bread, and the cheese melted to the correct degree. That's really all this is about. The grill, the liquid margarine, and the fresh shredded cheese do all the work in this sandwich. But one of the reasons we opened the restaurant is because we felt like we could do a grilled cheese about as well as anybody in town could do a grilled cheese. And that's what this sandwich is all about. There's some options with this sandwich that you could add. You could always add tomato, you could add bacon, you could add ham. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. So obviously, we'd be warming one of those meats up on the side of this sandwich if it was time for that at this point. All right, so now I'm going to go in and go ahead and just flip the bread over, and once again, swirl the bread around with the butter so the butter gets all the way to the edge, and then we're going to go to our 4 kinds of cheese. So the first one is our Parmesan spread, which is also the Dijonnaise, doubles as the Dijonnaise. So it's Parmesan, black pepper, mustard, and Dijon mustard and mayo. And then you're going to see about 4 ounces of shredded Swiss cheese on one side of the bread, about 4 ounces of shredded yellow cheese on the other side of the bread, and then about 2 ounces of mozzarella cheese on top of that. And the mozzarella provides some nice creaminess and some nice meltiness. We don't use that on a lot of other things, but we do use it on the Spokes grilled cheese. So what you're going to see now is we're going to sit there, we're going to let it melt a little bit, we're going to get the bottom of that bread a little yellow. Now the trick with the grilled cheese is it's actually the only sandwich where we build it whole on the grill and press it down a little bit and also flip it on the grill so we get a nice dark color on each side of the grilled cheese. There's really nothing else to do on the sandwich but science at this point. Just give it a little time to melt, give it a little time to toast, and we are going to be good to go. So there should be a sandwich weight or a bread weight sitting around the grill, and we're going to use that in just a second. But right now we're just getting the bottom of that. We're getting the bottom of that bread nice and brown. So there's no hurry. There's no hurry for this sandwich. You know, we expect all of our ticket times to be 10 minutes or less. This whole recording that I'm showing you is taking about 5 minutes, so there's no reason to hurry any faster than that. It's really about getting the sandwich nice and brown and nice and crispy on the outside, nice mouthfeel on the inside. So you're going to see right about now, I'm going to take that bread around, and I'm going to flip it on top, and then I'm going to set the weight on top of it. And now we're just grilling. So like I said, if we would have had bacon or ham, we would have touched that on the grill to get the chill off it and then put it in the middle before we flip that sandwich over. But we didn't, so this is just going to be our pure grilled cheese. So what you're going to see now is we're going to cook it on one side. We're going to cook it on the other side. Then we're going to cut it in half and sear it in the middle so we really get a nice melty, sealed look on the cheese. As the customer is about to bite into the grilled cheese, they see some nice meltiness on it. So we're going to take the grill off. That was about a minute on that side. I'm going to flip it over. You can see that yellowness. This side isn't quite as yellow on the other side, so we'd probably present the other one up. But the reality is we probably could have left that sandwich down for another half a minute or so, but I think you kind of get the point of it. We don't want to get, once again, we don't want to get it to the point where this is ripping into the top of your mouth. So this farm to market sourdough is delicious bread. It's real tender and flaky when you cut into it, but takes a really nice crisp on it, and that's what we're doing right now. So we're just getting it nice and crispy. The weight obviously increases with that, so we use this bread weight or this whatever kind of weight you want to call it. We use it on the bagels to toast the bagels a little bit. We use it on the Cuban sandwich to melt the Cuban sandwich, and we use it on this. So we're going to take it up. You can see we got yellow on both sides, looking nice and crisp, but it looks just like a grilled cheese should look. I'm going to cut it at a diagonal. You can see I'm going to flip it on its end, and I'm going to put that diagonal right back onto the grill. So that's really, we're applying the cheese in the middle that the customer is going to see first, directly on that grill, so there's no doubt about how melty it is, how creamy it is when you melt into it. So I'm just going to put it on there for about 30 seconds to a minute. Shouldn't be anything too exciting, and I'm going to pull it off here in just a second and show you what it looks like. And then we actually send it out stacked like this as well. So we serve it stacked with a toothpick through it. So as you can see, the middle of that bread is nice, sealed, got a little crisp on it, and just a really good sandwich.